Hey folks, I want to give you a little introduction to our Green Island project. The goal of this project is for you to design and create an island for 1,000 people that works in a sustainable way. And so what is sustainability? Sustainability is preventing the depletion of our natural resources in order to maintain an ecological balance, where we can live with our environment without destroying our environment. So in this project, we are going to prepare for the future. All right. The world population is predicted to reach 10 billion by 2050. So now is the time to start thinking about redeveloping our cities in a sustainable way, especially as new cities arise. So we're going to use some real life kind of application of skills here to see how we would do this. So you have been chosen to lead a design team to develop plans for a new sustainable city on your green island. This means that your city must be designed to minimize the environmental impacts through energy production, water usage, food usage, waste production and removal, as well as pollution. So we're trying to reduce our impact on the environment by keeping our carbon footprint low. So the first thing we're going to do is remember that we're going to have 1,000 people. And so it's a very small island to begin with, and we need to figure out how we're going to provide food for 1,000 people. And again, you want to accommodate a variety of tastes as well, but in a way that keeps your emissions low. Then you want to also come up with solutions for transportation, energy, green spaces, and waste management. You must have a minimum of 5 solutions for your green spaces and waste management to get full credit. And then at the end, we're going to design a map, because how we arrange these resources so that people can get to them without the need for fossil fuels is very important. And that's something we're going to be talking about throughout this urbanization unit. All right. How can we make things more eco-friendly and user-friendly at the same time? Because eco-friendly is not going to work if nobody wants to do it. So I want you guys to dream big and imagine your oasis in your green island that's both going to be beautiful and accommodating as well as eco-friendly. I had to pause. I sneezed. So these last slides on here are just, and I'm going to post these for you, are just some links if you want to look at a couple videos that might give you some ideas. So we're going to be going green. So when you pull up your project, you're going to have an overview. It will look like this. And you will see all the different things. So you're going to be Secretary of Agriculture, Transportation, Energy, Interior, which includes our green spaces, and Waste Management. And it says what you'll be graded on, but you also have a rubric. You do want to make sure you look at the rubric. We're going to start this week, and each week I will make a little list of what my expectations are of what you should have accomplished on your project that week. So this week we're going to be brainstorming the word city. So you're going to define the word city. You're going to give some examples, and your rubric tells you exactly how many. So if I pull up your rubric, because again, this is how I'm going to look through and grade your project. So right here, city and sustainability, I want a definition, 3 examples of a city, any city you want to do, and a minimum of 4 appropriate comments under what does it need to succeed or how do you achieve it. So it tells you exactly what I'm looking for to give you credit. So you're going to type that information in there. You're also going to be doing sustainability. So what does sustainability mean? And how do you succeed it? And give me some examples. And you're welcome to Google if you need to. And then we're going to start our rough draft. So we're going to look at food and agriculture first. So I'm going to give you just like a little example of how to do this so you're not completely lost. You're going to try to be figuring out how you want to feed your population. And so this brainstorming part down here is just for you to kind of, well, what exactly do I want to do? Oops, let me go down here. So let's say I have this population, I have 1,000 people, and I know if I look at this really quickly, I can feed a lot of people for very little carbon using plant-based stuff. But there are meat eaters out there. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, here's some meat that I could do, and which one might be the cheapest, or do I want a variety? And if I want a variety, how much of each should I do? And then we got our factories, okay? I could feed 1,000 people with a Dorito factory and a Kraft factory, but look how much carbon that produces. Is that the best way to do things, is as factories? So remember, your goal is to feed your people and make them happy so they want to live on your island, but at the same time, keep your carbon footprint low. So if I'm brainstorming here and I'm trying to figure out what I want, let's look at wheat. Wheat makes a lot of food. You can make bread, you make pasta. So let's say I want to do some wheat. I'm going to pick 10 acres of wheat. Oh, that's a lot of wheat. Okay. So if I do 10 acres of wheat, all right, for each of those, that feeds 50 people. So the number of people that will be fed will be 500 people. Okay, if I do 10 acres. Now, how much carbon will that be? Well, every acre gives me 0.5 tons of carbon per acre. Wow, I'm doing a lot of typos in here. Okay. And if I'm doing 10 acres, right, so I'm going to multiply that by 10 acres, then that means that I have produced 5 tons of carbon by growing all that wheat. Okay. Now, I've only fed half my people at this point, but I know how much carbon, and that's what you're going to put in here, tons of carbon. So if I choose to do that, and I'm not saying this is what you should do, you're going to have 5 tons per person right there. So, or sorry, that should be per year. I'm going to fix that. So then we are looking at how else do we want to feed our people? So I don't know, maybe I want some chickens, okay? Chickens, not too bad, right? So if I want to feed some chickens, and I can feed 2 people per chicken. So let's do, say, 100 chickens. If I do 100 chickens times we get 2 people fed per chicken, that's going to give me 200 people fed. All right. And that's okay. That's another 200 people. So if I do that, then I know that I'm doing 100 chickens, and they are 1 ton carbon per chicken. Takes a lot to grow animals, okay? Times I'm going to do 100 chickens, which means I'm going to produce 100 tons of carbon per chicken. So if that's what I decide I'm going to do, then I would put up here that I'm going to do 100 chickens, okay? And you need to keep going until you get to 1,000 people, no more. So right now I am only at 700, so I need to feed 300 more people. And so I can decide how I want to do that. So that's how you do the math, an example for how you do the math here for that. And then we're going to try to at least start thinking about transportation this week. You may not finish this one, so we'll give you some time to finish this one the next week. But it's the same kind of thing. You got to move 1,000 people and keep your carbon low. So try to figure out what's the best way to move people, keeping your carbon as low as possible. And then keep in mind that, not everybody can actually ride a bike, like kids or babies or really old people cannot ride bikes. So you might have to have a variety within your little town. So what do you think is best? Because you're going to have to justify why you picked what you picked in your final draft. So we have all these rough drafts here, and we'll go through some of the other ones as we go. But the end goal is to create a map of your island, being thoughtful about where you put things. Tell me about what you finally picked. So this is your final draft after everything's said and done that you decide. And then you're going to justify your choices with 5 sentences, 5 complete sentences as to why you did. It can be more than 5 sentences, but a minimum of 5, right? Why you picked what you picked. All right, and then we're going to have our final draft at the very end with a legend of your map that you're going to create, okay? So, you know what you got to do this week? Make sure you're looking at your rubric, because the rubric has both expectations for the rough draft and the final draft. And if you follow that rubric, you should be able to get a good grade on this project. Okay. If you have any questions, let me know. We can set up a web class, something like that to help you guys out, or WebEx. Take care, guys. Bye.